Good morning. You're watching Much Ado About Something, and I'm Donna. Well, I'm in the backyard today, and there's a few things I need to do, so I just thought I'd bring you with me. Of course, here's Whiny. His name is really Ollie, but he's very whiny today. I have cut the bunnies a few apple treats up today, and I'm going to feed them and give them an apple treat. I know, go ahead and eat. I like to sneak a little petting in there to them every now and then. So soft and sweet. They can smell the apples. And I think the apple had a sticker on it. You know, part of taking care of your animals is always checking their feed and making sure they have enough food and water. They have enough of what they need. They love their apple treats. I can feel the hint of fall in the air out here. It's the end of August, but it's starting to feel like fall. Of course, everything was dry at some points here, so we have a lot of the leaves have already fell off of some of the trees and stuff. So there's leaves down here on the ground. But it's starting to cool off. It's starting to, in the evenings and in the mornings, getting a hint of fall. Well, I'm out here checking Ollie's food today. When I opened his food canister, which is in a galvanized garbage can, I noticed an odor, and so I'm going to go through his food today and maybe put it in a different container if I need to. And I'm going to check the little garden here. The little vegetable garden. We got our garden in a little bit late, so there are just a lot of green tomatoes, which I'm really excited about. We'll have fresh tomatoes on up until the fall. Got a little yellow zucchini down there. Some marigolds blooming. Some beautiful big old green tomatoes. I'm gonna come out here and harvest these nasturtiums. You know, they're a natural antibiotic, and so I'm gonna harvest these. They didn't turn out as good here as I thought they would, but that's okay. I got some. That'll do me for the rest of this year. Over here is some. I'll cut those leaves and those flowers. And this little end of the garden is just drying up. There are still blooms on those cucumbers, but they're not producing very much. So I did buy some collards, and I got some things to plant for the fall weather. This is one of the little pumpkins. I'm going to go ahead and get it off. The kids harvested the pumpkins the other day, and they had a ball doing that. There was more little pumpkins in here than we realized, and everybody got a little pumpkin. I see a delicious zucchini hanging over here, so I'll be harvesting that. I hate having these tomato plants just scrunched up so tight. These are cages that Donald made for us. Everything gets so heavy that they have to have a heavy gauge, trellis or a heavy gauge, something for them to grow up on. But sometimes when we use this type of trellis, they bunch up. They're not getting the circulation they need for their leaves. I'll have to get out here and cut some of these off, but it's getting late in the season, so I'm not going to worry about that a lot. The beautiful tomatoes are in there. But next year I'm going to make a conscious effort not to have my tomatoes quite so bunched up. You know, try to give them as much air circulation for their health, because you can get a lot of problems when you crowd things in together. Didn't hurt our garden this year. I mean, we've got plenty from it. Got plenty of beautiful tomatoes. I can't complain about it, but just in being a better steward of it, I'm going to do my best. We'll go ahead and pull this one. It's got a blush to it, and I'm just going to go ahead and let it ripen in the windowsill. Look at that beauty back there. Those two beauties right there. I'll look forward to eating those. These down here on the lower end have dried up. They must not have gotten as much water, but that's okay. We had plenty up here on the top part that made it. This is what is in our elderberry here, and I'm not going to touch that, because if I get rid of that, then I won't have butterflies. So I leave these, and I share a portion of my elderberries with my wildlife that I want to propagate, that I want left here. And these will be butterflies, so I wouldn't dare kill that. I know so many people that just chop those down and get rid of them because they're unsightly. They see insects and they don't realize if you don't leave this right here, you won't have butterflies. So I'm sharing my elderberries in that regard with those caterpillars this morning. I'm going to go pluck that zucchini off. And I see that there's a little bunch of elderberry ripe on the other bushes. That little pumpkin is turning. Might not be much for eating, but it'll be cute for decorating. I leave a little sprig in case it wants to continue to grow. They're not annuals. I mean, they're not perennials. You have to plant them every year. They are annuals. I don't mind harvesting something that's as beautiful as these are, as beautiful and beneficial as these nasturtiums are. Edible, medicinal, or medicinal. In the Appalachian Mountains, we just say medicinal. I have to remind myself, not everybody may know what that is. I think I'm going to pull off a few green tomatoes because I absolutely love fried green tomatoes. That's also an Appalachian dish and a southern dish. I don't want to take off too many, but I am going to just peel off a few, and that'll be my lunch for today. So this is this morning's harvest for me. There's a blushing tomato that I'm going to let ripen up. A couple of yellow zucchinis. 2 pumpkins. Elderberry cluster. A couple of handfuls of nasturtiums. And a couple of green tomatoes that I'm going to fry up and eat for lunch. And that'll be my little harvest for today. I'll also have to gather the eggs, and then I'm going to get busy switching over Ollie's dog food into a better barrel. Well, that's what's up out here today, out here in my back garden, out in my little vegetable garden, Donald and mine, out here just harvesting a few things, little handfuls of this or that. Every bit counts. I'll be making elderberry syrup in the near future and be doing a few other things that I'm going to share with you. I look forward to it. Until next time.